and him saying that he's not going to fire Mueller. Anyway, I just want to get a quick update on what's going on in Congress. And we have with us Representative Warren Davidson. He's with Ohio's 8th District, Army vet, went to the military academy at West Point, then went back to Ohio, helping with family manufacturing business, got his MBA from Notre Dame. Thank you, sir, for being with us. Appreciate it. And how you liking things in D.C.?
Well, it's an honor to be here, Sean. It's an honor to be on your show, and I certainly would like it more if we were going to be staying on offense last year. But hey, you got to play offense to stay on offense.
Yeah, well, you do. So, what do you see happening with the Democrats? It seems like they don't have the votes. Now, there was one interesting little tidbit that the president gave out, and that was, well, maybe she's worked hard. She shouldn't lose the speakership, and maybe we'll have to get a couple of Republican votes for her. Is that going to happen?
Well, if Maxine was up, she might be a tough speaker for Republicans to say no to. But we'll let them fight amongst themselves as to who's going to lead their.
If the president called you and said, "Warren, I need your help," Nancy Pelosi for speaker, what do you say?
Well, I think we get the way that he's baiting the Democrats into making bad decisions for their party. And, the reality is Tim Ryan from Ohio knows that Democrats aren't winning Ohio with Nancy Pelosi as speaker. Connor Lamb from Western Pennsylvania knows Democrats aren't going to win Western PA with Nancy Pelosi as speaker. And so while they have control of the House, if they have any hope of it, they're going to have to turn away from this far left, outside of historical Democratic Party path that they've been on, that Barack Obama set them on, and turn back to the party that John F. Kennedy led. And Americans, some of our seniors, think of the Democratic Party, but the reality is the younger part of the party is way left of the historic Democratic Party.
Well, let me ask you this, and I know your fellow Republican went up against Kevin McCarthy, but I'm now hearing that, in fact, Jim Jordan might actually being floated for the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. That would be interesting, or the minority leader there. House Republicans introducing a border wall bill that can be passed through reconciliation. Now, Kevin McCarthy's proposing that. Can that happen?
Well, I hope the stronger version of that comes through. We got 193 votes for the Goodlatte bill, and I think we could take that base piece and make it stronger. I looked through the language that Leader McCarthy proposed, and the good news is he's willing to try to do something. Because I was fearing that we were just going to go on out of here quietly into the good night, and of course we're not supposed to do that. We're on offense for at least 4 more weeks, and we ought to play as much offense as we can. And one of the things that still is yet to be resolved is funding the government for the full year, which is one of the key duties of Congress. And we haven't secured the border all the way. And my fear is that we just build a wall, that we don't deal with the sanctuary policies and some of the other things that you could build a wall as high as the stratosphere and as thick as half the state of Texas. If you don't deal with the sanctuaries on this side of it, there's still a big gap between legal and illegal immigration. You're going to have a black market. So if there's a big gap between supply and demand, it's going to be filled. Anyone with the economics mindset will see it. And so we've got to deal with those sanctuary policies too. The president laid out 4 principles, and I hope he fights to the mat for it.
All right. Well, best of luck to you. And the Republicans have a lot of work to do from my perspective from now until the end of this Congress, and they need to get it done. If we can use the reconciliation process to get the other $23 billion the president wants for the wall, I think it would be a good idea and go out on a high note in that sense, and then be ready. You probably have to work harder, as the Democrats have no agenda except to hate Trump, investigate, and do nothing for the American people. So it shouldn't be hard to counter that.
Oh, you're spot on. Absolutely.
All right. Appreciate it. 800-941-SEAN.